This is not the Sunday Showdown yet, guys. You guys did not just miss 4 hours of broadcasting. But it's a big game in Division 5, Ben. MC is 5-1. Actually, he never really lost the game, but he did give the walkover win to Puzzle. That was an unfortunate person to give the walkover win against, by the way.
I got the story about that walkover.
Oh.
Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
So, one day, MC sets his alarm clock to go off at 9 a.m.
Yes.
And his alarm goes off, and he wakes up kind of in a tizzy. So, like, he's kind of like, oh. Like, just kind of startled him to wake. He wasn't quite ready to wake up. And he's kind of looking around his room. He's like, why did I set my alarm clock for 9 o'clock? And he sits there, he kind of scratches his head. He's like, I really can't remember why I set my alarm. And then he goes back to bed. And then at 12:30, he jumps up. Oh, crap, an ASL. And so he runs downstairs, and he gets on, and he messages the admins, but it was too late.
Huh.
The walkover had already been rewarded.
What time was he supposed to play? Like 10 or 11?
Yeah, at 10.
Oh.
So I thought that was a pretty funny story.
That is pretty funny.
He asked me, he was bitter. Do I get fined for missing game? I was like, I'm not sure, MC. He's like, oh, damn it.
We see Sheth opening up with the 15 pool here, or it might have been a 14 pool. See the probe trying to scare away the drone. He's most likely going to try to block this hatch for a little while. I'm curious to see where MC is going to take this though, Ben, because we saw a lot of different build orders from MC in the previous few weeks against Zerg, and certainly the 7 gauge with 1 gas, the one that he pulled off against Stefano and Ohana, looked really promising.
Yeah, and Frodan and you were discussing that yesterday. Frodan predicted that we'd see it here today. It looked like a really strong build. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's basically just a lot of chrono boost on the Cybercore, and it's 7 gauge, and he mines a very few amount of gas. I literally believe that he's only on 1 Vespian geyser, so just imagine how sick your economy can be, and you already stop at, let's say, 32 probes, so you don't even have full 2 base saturation, but still you're able to afford 7 gauge because you're only mining from 1 Vespian geyser. You warp in 4 or 5 Stalkers straight away, and the rest is just going to be Zealots, and it looked really, really powerful.
Does he get +1?
I am not sure, actually. I think he does.
Well, he is going for the Forge Expand here.
It's pretty bad that I don't remember that, because I was thinking about it while I was telling that story. I am 80% sure that he does, but I might have been wrong, because I know that he's only mining from 1 Vespian geyser, and that's the crazy part of it. I haven't actually really want to experiment with it, but the last 2 days have been so busy again that I wasn't able to play, and I actually thought if I was going to play StarCraft, it was going to be tonight or tomorrow morning, and the first thing I'm going to do is once more check out that VOD, because I want to copy that build, man. All-inning Zergs is one of my favorite things to do in life.
Sheth is playing just like most Zergs do these days. He's gotten a very fast 3 base down. No gases just yet. And, well, he's a player that loves to drone up and get a huge economy. Sheth sometimes going up to as many as 90, 100 drones before transitioning back into that sort of spine crawler, broodlord, infester style.
See that Pro Scout going up. MC will confirm he's playing indeed against the standard 3 hatch opening. So of course we're going to keep a close eye on the main base of MC and see if he wants to do something like the things we just previously mentioned. But he's already mining from 2 Vespian geysers or 2 assimilators, so I'm not sure if he really needs to.
Yep, Sheth doing a good job of getting his probe off the map. It's very important that you don't allow pylons to go up in hidden places. And Sheth has thus far avoided anything like that. MC is getting +1 right now, so if he goes, well, he's also on double assimilator, so I don't think we're going to see the build you were talking about, Kev.
And he's chrono boosting out quite a few pros. With the other builds, it's mostly chrono boost Cybercore, chrono boost Cybercore. We'll see. Sheth has a couple of overlords around the map. Obviously, you want to sacrifice an overlord or 2. He knows what's going on. He has watched those games. We've been talking quite a bit with Sheth, and he said in general he doesn't feel bad against Protoss, but he is worried about all the all-ins that Protoss has.
I was sitting here thinking to myself that we've seen MC play a lot of Stargate on Daybreak, and we might see it here, and he does in fact throw down that Stargate. He's still working on just 2 assimilators though, Kev. Do you think he's going to do like a Void Ray Gateway all-in?
Maybe Void Ray Gateway Pressure, but that is indeed kind of funny, but he doesn't have that many probes yet, so maybe he's going to throw down 1 assimilator real soon. I think Sheth is going to be really pleased with this Void Ray opening, Ben, if it is indeed a Void Ray opening, because I don't think he's all that worried about it. Most Zergs, they will say, hey, I'd rather play against the Stargate opening than play against Sentry Mortar or just like 6-7 gate aggression, 2 base Blink Stalkers, because I feel that the games where Protoss goes for Stargate, they play out so differently. Yeah,
and Stargate's been played for such a long time that it's kind of been figured out. I'm definitely one of those guys that says, hey, if I see Stargate, I'm fine, and actually happy to see it. MC does end up taking these second 2 gases, and Sheth does end up scouting this Stargate, so he has a really good read on what MC is up to. The counter is just to build lots and lots of drones and not take too much damage.
And lots of roaches, Ben, if you ask Mondragon.
Yes, indeed.
You remember that crazy game, Ben? From Mondragon against
It
Xerex?
was on Crevasse, your favorite map.
I know, that's where I was going, but you kind of ruined my moment. It's such a great game, and everybody remembers it because it was played on a great map. MC is going to try to scout. He wants to see if any other overlords are nearby. He kind of missed this one because he's already heading to the north direction. And Voiders are kind of slow, so this he's losing quite a bit of time over here.
Yeah, that overlord has been well hidden. MC is definitely hunting for it, though.
3 more gates being wiped in right now in the main base of MC. Meanwhile, there's more and more drones on the way for Sheth, who's also throwing down a few spore crawlers. So I really think that Sheth is doing very well in this game so far, Ben. And I love Sheth's position, and I hope that Sheth loves it too.
Interesting choice in upgrades, Kev. Not getting carapace, not getting ranged attack. He's getting melee attack. So I wonder. He's also getting a lot of gas, mining on 2 geysers in his main, 2 geysers in his third, and
Maybe
1 geyser in his natural.
Infestus probably. Yep.
Yeah, some infesterling. Very cool.
He's gonna morph in the infestation pit. Phoenix is gonna fly in straight away, take a lot of damage from this spore crawler. I have to be careful, as you can already see the Phoenix took some real damage, not just spore damage anymore. This also gave Sheth a little bit of time to get his screen in a safe position. And man, I love how this is going so far for Sheth. He's up 15 workers. MC seems like he wants to expand pretty quick behind his target though, which is crazy because I think when you open up Stargate, it's going to be really hard to get a proper defense on the ground.
Yeah, and man, this is such a gutsy third base because of that. MC is going to go ahead and try to find an opening, but it's just so tough with the queens out and with spore crawlers in good positions. Sheth's done a great job of making himself pretty attack-proof.
Sheth is still completely unaware of this base, but very important, man, he already has Overlord speed. Now, I'm not sure if that's only to keep Overlords alive from the Phoenixes and make sure that you don't Overlord all the time, or if he eventually wants to start dropping as well, which I don't think is a bad move. Despite a couple of Phoenixes on the map, it takes quite a while before Phoenixes are able to snipe Overlords, which are pretty fast.
Yeah, and they're not going to do anything against a big Zergling drop, for example. No drop upgrade just yet. Instead, Sheth investing in burrow and pathogen glands and getting his first couple of infestors in production. MC, in the meantime, is finishing up his third base.
Yep, he's going to get a couple of cannons there as well. He has quite a few sentries, and we can see the robotics bay going up in the main base. So he will get those Colossus out. He will be sort of safe. We see these Void Rays starting to work on his hatchery, and of course, yeah, Shep's actually just going to cancel it, which I don't mind him at all, because I want to say, of course, as soon as those queens walk down the ramp, those Phoenixes are going to try to lift up those queens as they are out of range of the spore crawlers.
Yeah, and Sheth is just expanding everywhere right now. MC going to drop a pylon up at the top left as he marches across the map with some zealots. So
did not see that headshot though. I guess he will see it as soon as the pylon is ready.
Or as soon as he warps in, one or the other.
I think the first, man, because you can't warp in unless your pylon is ready.
But the pylon won't see the hatch.
No, wow, I thought it would. Damn it. I thought the vision was bigger. See Sheth moving out, Ben. He has quite a few infestors on the map right now. 4 infestors. He could land a fungal on those zealots, but I think he rather gets a big fungal off. Like right now, that would be an amazing fungal.
Yeah,
Sheth, just fungal.
Very, very patient. The zealot upgrade does favor MC, but with Roachling, it doesn't matter at all. Sheth has more than enough.
He doesn't need to fungal, but I still would have loved to see 1 fungal, because he would have lost way less Zerglings.
Zerglings are free, man. He doesn't care about that. And one thing that... Oh, actually, Sheth can't see the pylon either.
I like this fungal a lot.
Oh, that's a great fungal. Catching that Void Ray. Takes a lot of the map control away from MC. He was using that Void Ray to pick off things like creep tumors around the map.
Well, it was 3 fungals in the end, so I wouldn't say that was for free, but still, we see more and more infestors on the way. Sheth had a really good gas economy for a very long time. He's starting to get a little high on the minerals. I would love to see Sheth research drop ban and just start dropping a couple of Zerglings in the main base soon. He could afford 1 more macro hatch, and that's exactly what he's going to do straight away. Man, great mind stinker like.
And I'm a bit surprised that Sheth hasn't invested in any.
Now you made me look cocky, man. That was clearly a joke. Never mind.
I was just going to leave it be, man.
No.
Great minds do think alike, Kev. But Sheth is he's getting +2 melee, +1 ranged attack, has no carapace upgrades, and he's still building a lot of Zerglings, and that worries me a little bit because he's not going to trade very effectively with MC's Zealots.
But I think as soon as he starts dropping in the main base, it would be so good for him. It would be the best thing he could potentially do, because then
20 drones.
Then he's going to really spread out MC. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe Phoenixes are going to get fungled over here. Oh, but there is an infestor. Beautiful play here by MC, having that observer around.
Yep. Well, that goes both ways. Sheth keeping the Overseer with his army spots the Observer and is able to fungal it to death. So
yeah, really high level play on either side.
Yeah, both these guys doing the small things very well. Baneling Nest going down now for Sheth. Still no drop upgrade, which surprises me.
You know, any other Protoss in the world right now would probably be pretty worried about how this game went so far. But somehow when it's MC, you feel that everything is going well and it's going according to plan. Because I can imagine a ton of Protosses really not being satisfied with how this game played out. But suddenly MC does have a bigger army. He's actually up 30 army supply. So Chef may be playing a little bit too greedy. I would love to see Chef producing actually, to see him produce some real units rather than just tech.
MC being so patient about this. He still isn't really pushing through the center. He's going to go ahead and secure another base before he does that. Ultralisk Cavern and Spire going down at the same time for Sheth, so he's preparing his in-game tech. But at the same time, he's getting 17 roaches, and I'm not really, I mean, I'm feeling MC's army a lot more than I am Sheth's.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with a couple of fungals do go down. Chef doesn't have to take this fight, at least not yet. He should really stall for all those roaches, man. I feel Chef is only fighting with a very small portion of his army.
Phoenix is going to lift up a lot of these infestors, and MC is going to win a big fight here in the middle of the map, and Chef has very few units out on the map right now, Kev. He's got 15 roaches and 7 infestors. That is it. Production tab shows us that he's making more roaches.
Wow.
But I don't feel like they're going to trade very well with this Blinkstalker Colossus ball that MC has built.
Certainly not after all the infestors he lost now already. He's still trying to get a lot of upgrades down. He's getting the greatest fire. The Ultralisk Cavern is up, but I don't think that Chef is ever going to be able to like really regroup his army.
I don't think so either. He doesn't really have the in-game tech that he needs. Even if he were to make Ultras, what are they going to do against Blinkstalker Colossus?
Like Chef is maxed out, man, but I barely see an army.
I think the best thing he can hope for is a big counter.
He's going to pick up a couple of these pylons. That sort of sense. Phoenixes are left behind though, so he might end up losing quite a few Phoenixes here to all the fungals.
MC lifting. Actually, MC's going to lift an infestor here. Fungal does go down, but
he's losing. He lost an infestor with a ton of energy. Meanwhile, Chef is going to try to counter. He's going to be able to pick up quite a few stalkers here. He's going to lose some roaches as well. Might be able to pick up a base, but will this buy the time that Chef really needs?
I don't think it's going to matter, Kev, because MC, he hasn't had to build a unit for the last couple of minutes. He's just staying maxed. He's building up a nice big bank of resources. While Chef's going to be able to run around and pick off some pylons and cannons and a couple of units here and there. He's eventually going to lose all these roaches, and when he does, what is Sheth going to fall back on? He's going to try to make it Broodlords, but he just doesn't really have the money he needs to do something like that.
He's doing a good job though with these roaches. He's buying a lot of time, but as you said, man, he's down 80 army supply right now. MC is already pretty confident he's going to drop the fleet beacon, so he knows that in case he's going to have to deal with a lot of Broodlords, he's still going to have that answer as well with the Mothership.
And MC even getting his probes involved in the fight a little bit there. Picks off the last of those roaches and Chef.
What do you think went wrong there, Ben, for Chef? Because this game went really good for him so far, in my opinion. He didn't take a lot of damage from the Stargate opening. He made a lot of drones. I felt everything was fine. I don't think he had to take this fight yet, but it just felt like he was doing everything at once.
Well, he had to get rid of some supplies so that he could add in his hive tech, but that didn't really pan out. I think the big mistake Chef made was that he did nothing to keep MC in check. There was no trades ever up until they finally met in the middle of the map, and MC was on a full three-base, he was on a full operational three-base economy, and it just had basically the army that he wanted.
Look at these Phoenixes. Actually picking off one Brutal already. Might even be able to pick off one more. Now the Queens are here. But MC knows that all there is for Chef is a couple of those Broodlords, and he's probably not too worried about that. Then again, Infested Broodlord is very, very good in defensive purposes, so he might be able to make some sort of a stand, but it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, those Spine Crawlers are melting away. The Zergling's not really going to represent much of a threat to this army. The Colossi doing a great job. There's the big blink by MC, and the Broodlords just topple. And MC is going to take Daybreak pretty convincingly. Sheth taps out. GG. MC takes game number 1.
I felt the games like this, they play out so weird, man. Because if we watch any foreign Protoss play against a Zerg like this, it always feels that it's going well for Zerg. And if the fight goes sort of 50-50, it's a lot better for Zerg because they have a better economy. They don't have to worry that much about the counters and whatsoever. This fight went really bad for Chef.
Yeah.
Now, I do think that like basically when MC moved out, MC was almost maxed out and Chef was like at 170 supply, and I don't even feel that all of his supply was right there. But even if it was, like 170 supply of Roach, Ling, Infestor is not going to do well against Blinkstalkers and Colossus.
No, MC had a much more cost-effective army. If I were going to try to summarize Sheth's mistakes there, I would say that he had a low-tech army. he had his transitions weren't really ready. Like he was building the Spire and the Ultimus Cavern.
Yeah, but I also felt it was a bit too much. He was getting the upgrades for the Lynx, he was getting the upgrades for the Roaches, he was going for Ultras, and he was going for Great Spire. And later we saw him add a Baneling Nest as well. It's like, how many things can you really do at once?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me though is I just don't feel like he did anything at all to slow down MC. Like we so often see guys like Stefano kind of fighting and constantly forcing the Protoss player to recycle units.
Yeah, certainly when Protoss opens up with Stargate, they're really not that strong on the ground for quite a while.
Yeah.
So if you just rally in some Roaches, it's most likely that you're going to be cost effective.
That's the biggest point there for me. The Stargate opening is not a very strong defensive opening in the mid game. It's great, you know, early game.
Yeah, when you have to deal with 6 Roaches or something.
Yeah, but when you're dealing with 30 Roaches, it's
with speed,
it's not. It's not that great. So I kind of feel like Sheth might have missed an opportunity to do some damage. At the same time, I'm not sure where, because MC was pretty well positioned.
Well, I do think that a lot of Roaches would have done a lot of damage. Because did you also notice that MC barely made a single Immortal, or maybe didn't even make a single Immortal?
They made no Immortals
Maybe
at all.
that has something to do with the fact that he scouted the Infestation Pit and that he feels that Roach Infestor gets kind of scary if Neuroparasite goes off on the Immortal, or that just that Immortals kind of clump up and Fungals can really hurt them. I kind of wonder.
That's possible. That's a really nice observation there. That last game, guys, was brought to you by Epson. Our second game's already ready to rock, so we're going to play a very short commercial, and then we'll be back with game number 2, Sheth versus MC.